Dorothy Helena Collins, née Edwards, also known as Auntie Edna, of Hermitage St. Patrick, who resided at Mondelez St. Paul's, passed away on Thursday, 18th April 2024, at the age of 103. She was the beloved mother of Merle, Keith, and Michael Collins, grandmother of Kurt, Kiva, Kevin, and Marissa, great-grandmother of Brian Stevenson, aunt of Rita Hutchinson, Gemma Houston George, and Joan Samuel, mother-in-law of Elva Frederick Collins, caregivers Maureen Hackett and Anthony Errol Hackett, Ralda George, nurse Doreen Batson, and the caregiving team of Innovative Healthcare Services. Many cousins, other relatives and close friends, including Helen Charles, Janice Robert Edwards, Desmond Roberts, Cynthia Miller, Patricia Miller, the George families of Hermitage and other areas, Dorsil George Nayak, Dennis Flanders, and the Flanders and Edwards families of St. John, Carrier, Moya, and Tivoli St. Andrew, Tyrone Shillingford, Nita Edward, Heejing Bang, the Collins family of Mount Royal, Evelyn Sinak, Father Mark and the Mothers' Union of the Anglican Church St. Paul's, and relatives and friends of Hermitage, St. Patrick, and Mondelez St. Paul's. The funeral of the late Dorothy Helena Collins, née Edwards, also known as Auntie Edna, of Hermitage St. Patrick, who resided at Mondelez St. Paul's, will take place on Friday, May 3rd at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Paul's Anglican Church, and interment will be at the Mount Airy Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Kareem Glean, also known as Patchy, of Monjaloo St. George, founder of Concept Auto Rentals and Auto Body Repair, passed away on Monday, April 1st, 2024, at the age of 29. He was the son of Nicolette and Christopher Glean, brother of Diamond Glean, Christy Glean, Kizzy Glean, Christel Victor, and Michaela Glean, nephew of Nigel Gibson, Neil Gibson, Alvin Francis, Nigel Francis, Bradley John, Anne-Marie Glean, Andy Thomas, Robert Robinson, Derek Lucas, and Brian Glean, grandson of Alistair Robinson, also known as Casher in the USA, grandnephew of Leonard Gibson and Mary Goodings, cousin of Paula Granger, Zonaya Gibson, Naiden Stevenson, Wendell Badassi, Glenn Raymond, and Curlin Raymond, uncle of Jasmine, Liam, Ethan, and Nylia. Other relatives and close friends including Jonathan Lecret, Francis Paul, Tunka, Heston Watson, Kendall Weeks, Ezekiel Celestine, Ali Carmichael, Roland Stanislaus, also known as Dus, Lorne Devonish, Hayden Bean, Akim Simon in Canada, Dorney Lessie, Owen Andel, Matthew Charles, Barney and Keisha, Karabi Philip, Chenny Lord, George, also known as Bakes, Zavid Sinclair, Anne Mitchell, Edo from Petite Martinique, friends at Republic Bank Limited, the Ledlow family, the Darbo family of Monjaloo, the Bruno family of Monjaloo, the Alexis family, Janice George and family, the Badassi family of Moran St. John, the Raymond family of St. John, the Gibson family, the Uptop Bike Live family, the Goodings family, the Mitchell family of Beaulieu and Snug Corner, the Francis family of Good Hope, the St. John family, the Banfield family, the Burris family, the Woodlands Berean Church, Pastor Kevin Evelyn, and customers of Concept Auto, and all friends and loved ones. The funeral service for the late Kareem Glean, also known as Patchy, of Monjaloo St. George, will take place on Friday, May 3rd at 12:30 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Grenada Trade Center, followed by entombment at the Monjaloo Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Armstrong J. Bailey, also known as Smokey, of Coast Guard St. Mark, who resided in Brooklyn, New York, USA, passed away on Monday, April 15th, 2024, at the age of 81. He was the father of Deslyn Gibbs in the USA and Desmond Jones in Grenada, grandfather of Antonio, Adrian, Ashley, and Abby, great-grandfather of Amara, brother of Mirthlin Felix, Maudlin Auguste, Gertrude and Denise Bailey, and Proudman Fletcher in England, uncle of many including Sergeant Deirdre Bailey of the New York Police Department, Dr. Sharon McBain, Cheryl Robinson, Karen O'Geist, Skeeter Modeste, Sally Ann Haynes, Wendell Felix, Clifton Bailey, Roxanne Caesar, and Trevor Modeste in Grenada, brother-in-law of Elias Felix in Trinidad. Many cousins, other relatives and friends, including Lyndon Tobin in the USA, Jocelyn Fletcher in Grenada, the Hostin and Williams families in the USA and Grenada, and neighbors of Coast Guard and in the USA. The funeral service for the late Armstrong J. Bailey, also known as Smokey, of Coast Guard St. Mark, who resided in Brooklyn, New York, USA, will take place on Friday, May 3rd at 7 p.m. in New York, USA. Arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. We remember Clinton Cosmos Alexander of Parade and Laborie St. George, who resided in the USA and passed away on Sunday, April 9th, 2023 in the USA at the age of 88. He was the brother of Robert in Trinidad and Sylvester, also known as Jerry, in Canada, adopted brother of Hillary in Canada, Kessler in the UK, Leonard and Jeffrey in Grenada, brother-in-law of Grace in Grenada and Ingrid in Canada, uncle of Desmond and Brian in Trinidad, Pamela, Brian, Samuel and Carol in Canada, Richard and Caroline in the UK, and Steve in Grenada. Several cousins including Alma, Denise, Hazel-Ann, Casti in Grenada, Gillian in the USA, and many others too numerous to mention. Other relatives and friends including the Worm, Sandyford, Park, Jelino, Braffett, Burke and Charles family of Laborie and in the United Kingdom. Many dear friends including Dennis and Denise Phillip in Grenada. A memorial service for the late Clinton Cosmos Alexander of Parade and Laborie St. George, who resided in the USA, will take place on Monday, May 6th at 1:30 p.m. Service will be held at the St. Paul's Anglican Church, followed by interment of ashes at the Mount Airy Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Alfred Lawrence, also known as Weckham of Mount Royal, Carriacou, passed away on Tuesday, 2nd April 2024, at the age of 79. He was the father of Patrick and Karen Lawrence, grandfather of Leah, Simeon, Carmen, Jared, and Tamara, brother of David Lawrence, also known as Victor, John Lawrence, also known as Idie, Agnes Boatswain, also known as Cossil, Marilyn Nash, and Elizabeth Douglas, nephew of Sylvia Lawrence Coy, Gertrude Lawrence, Venice Lawrence, and Dunstan Lawrence, uncle of 20, brother-in-law of Elon Boatswain and Anthony Douglas, and Evelyn Lawrence, father-in-law of Winifred David. Many cousins, other relatives and friends including the Lawrence, Ray, Phillips, Dick, Bedeau, Flary, Alexis, and Coy families. The funeral of the late Alfred Lawrence, also known as Weckham, of Mount Royal, Carriacou, will take place on Tuesday, May 7th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Hillsborough Roman Catholic Church, and interment will be at the Brunswick Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment as you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest. Visit or call Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Jiffner John, also known as Jay, of Trinidad, who resided at Windsor Forest, St. David, and Grenville Street, St. George's, passed away on Friday, April 12, 2024, at the age of 37. She was the mother of Jahim, Japhon, Jemoke, Jadon and Jadine, daughter of Magdalene and Curtis John, sister of Giselle Alexander and Leonjo Alexander in Trinidad, aunt of Jada Alexander, adopted daughter Ciara, many aunts and uncles, many other relatives and friends in Grenada, Trinidad, and the USA, including the Alexander, John, Felix, and Fortune families, Dwight Thomas, vendors at the St. George's Market, Giga and friends on the Coronage, Molinga Daniel, Alika, Pinky Fabulous, Crystal John, the Daniel family of St. Paul's, Annette and Shondell, and friends and neighbors of Windsor Forest and Four Roads. The funeral service for the late Jiffna John of Trinidad, who resided at Windsor Forest, St. David, and Grenville Street, St. George's, will take place on Wednesday, May 8th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Dominic's R.C. Church, St. David, and interment will be at the Windsor Forest Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Leslie Joseph, also known as Moses and Barris, of Rose Hill, St. Patrick, passed away on Tuesday, 2nd April, at the age of 58. He was the father of Shanna, Leroy, also known as Isco, and Sheena. Adopted father of Nicole, also known as Tukalin, grandfather of Jamel, Tishana, Abena, and Soraya. Father-in-law of Algeron and Leon. Brother of Carmen in Trinidad, Annie, Oslin, Bettian, and Allison in the USA. Bernadette and Gabriel in Canada. Anne-Marie, Kenrick, also known as Rono, and Augusta, also known as Gus. Adopted brother of Stephen. Uncle of many including Donnelly, Ivory, Lisselle, Malcolm, and Rickson. Many other relatives and close friends including Anne-Marie Williams, Dr. Husent, Helen, Nikki, Marcus, Hillary, Cush, Jude, Tan, the Smart family of Hermitage, the Joseph family of Rose Hill, Carrier, Tivoli, and Pearls. Friends and neighbors of Rose Hill, Carrier, Tivoli, and the surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Leslie Joseph, also known as Moses and Barris of Rose Hill, St. Patrick, will be on Wednesday, 8 May at 2 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Rose Hill Seventh-day Adventist Church, St. Patrick, and the interment will be at the family cemetery, Rose Hill. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Ronald C. Arthur Lynch of 196 Lembeck Avenue, Jersey City, New Jersey, USA, passed away on Friday, 19th April 2024, at the age of 50. He was the son of Bernice Brown and several foster parents, brother of Floyd, Charles, Anne, Cecilia, Phyllis, Suzanne, Jewel, Richard, Darren, Katina, Michelle, Andrew, Heather, Jennifer, Matthew, and Christopher. Foster brother of many, including June. Uncle of many. Nephew of many. Brother-in-law of many, including Richard, Patrick, Lydia, and Renee. Many other relatives and friends, including the Lynch, Lang, Collins, and Monroe's families, and friends and neighbors of 196 Lembeck Avenue, Jersey City, New Jersey, USA, and surrounding areas, too numerous to mention. The funeral of the late Ronald C. Arthur Lynch of 196 Lembeck Avenue, Jersey City, New Jersey, USA, will take place on Wednesday, May 8th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the graveside according to Grand Bay Gospel Hall rites, and entombment will be at the Grand Bay Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Cecil Carlyle John, also known as Pepe, of Lamouth St. George, passed away on Tuesday, 23rd April 2024 in the USA, at the age of 67. He is survived by his wife Ingrid John, brothers Kenrick John and Michael John, sisters Bernadette John Batiste, Gloria John Ed, and Carol James in the USA, nephews Michael Jr., Sean, Karim, Jermaine, Kieron, Marcus, Kenrick, and Jelani, nieces Andrea, Michelle, Nicole, Joey Shaw, Kimberly, Chanel, and Shanisha. brothers-in-law Leslie Ed and Dave James, sisters-in-law Miriam, Cleaver, Andrea, Faith and Daphne, Aunts Lucy Frederick in Grenada and Auntie Cynthia in Trinidad, uncles Edward Strawn in Grenada and Ellis Strawn in the UK. Many other relatives and friends, including the Strawn family in New York, Canada and England, the James family of Grandaunts and Beaulieu, the Noel family in New York and Trinidad, the Valdez family and the Brasnell family. Many close friends, Bernard, Galborough Charles, and the staff of the Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital, Boston, and friends and neighbors of Pawtucket and Boston, USA. The funeral service and interment of the late Cecil Carlyle John, also known as Pepe, of Lamode St. George, will take place on Saturday, May 11th in the USA. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Stephen Sharp, also known as Sharpie, of Pomereux St. David, who resided at Montague St. George, died on Wednesday, 24th April, at the age of 59. The funeral arrangements of the late Stephen Sharp, also known as Sharpie of Pomereux St. David, who resided at Montague St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Urani Sharp of Pomereux St. David, who resided at White Gun St. George and Brooklyn, New York, died on Saturday, 20th April, at the age of 97. The funeral arrangements of the late Urani Sharp of Pomereux St. David, who resided at White Gun St. George and Brooklyn, New York, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Margaret Theresa Lee of Belvedere Carriacou passed away on Sunday, 28th April 2024 in Georgia, USA, at the age of 75. The funeral arrangements for the late Margaret Theresa Lee of Belvedere Carriacou will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Phyllis Michelle Samuel Alexis of Malabar Road, Arima, Trinidad, who resided at La Fortune St. Patrick, passed away on Thursday, 25th April 2024, at the age of 57. The funeral arrangements for the late Phyllis Michelle Samuel Alexis of Malabar Road, Arima, Trinidad, who resided at La Fortune St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Eudine Robertson of Montfendu St. Patrick, who resided at Westerhall St. David, died on Saturday, April 20th, 2024 in New York, at the age of 61. The funeral arrangements for the late Eudine Robertson of Montfendu St. Patrick, who resided at Westerhall St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Sarah Francis, also known as Rode of Montague St. George, died on Saturday, 27th April 2024, at the age of 59. The funeral arrangements for the late Sarah Francis, also known as Rode of Montague St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Jeffrey Johnson Linton, also known as Jeff, of H.A. Blair Street, St. George's, who resided in Toronto, Canada, passed away on Tuesday, 23rd April 2024, at the age of 57. The funeral arrangements for the late Jeffrey Johnson Linton, also known as Jeff, of H.A. Blair Street, St. George's, who resided in Toronto, Canada, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Lorraine Williams, also known as Tanti Lou of Grove Estate, St. John, died on Wednesday, 24th April 2024, at the age of 68. The funeral arrangements for the late Lorraine Williams, also known as Tanti Lou of Grove Estate, St. John, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Osborne Baptiste, also known as Litterman of New Hampshire St. George, passed away on Tuesday, 16th April, at the age of 76. The funeral arrangements of the late Osborne Baptiste, also known as Litterman, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Dennis Randolph Thomas, also known as Chunky, of Upper Depredine Street, who resided at Mount Nesbitt St. John, passed away on Wednesday, April 17, 2024, at the age of 56. The funeral arrangements for the late Dennis Randolph Thomas, also known as Chunky, of Upper Depredine Street, who resided at Mount Nesbitt St. John, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Dr. Marguerite Joan Joseph of Tontine Terrace, St. George, passed away on Sunday, April 14, 2024, at the age of 70. The funeral arrangements for the late Dr. Marguerite Joan Joseph of Tontine Terrace, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Richard George Fisher, also known as Fisher, of River Road, St. George, passed away on Monday, April 8, 2024, at the age of 57. The funeral arrangements for the late Richard George Fisher, also known as Fisher, of River Road, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thank you for watching.
On behalf of this entire network, our congregations, and I, Pastor Happy, we do send our deepest condolences to you and your family, even in this time that could be very painful, very challenging, very hard time of agony, bereavement. We're here to pray with you, to encourage you. You know, it could be a very painful time. A bishop lost his son, and he was crying, God, where are you? And he felt like he received this voice inwardly saying to him, you know, I am in the same place where I was when I lost my son. You know, God even went through this time, and we all go through this time, and sometimes it could be very hard, very challenging, but we pray that God will strengthen you. And I want to pray this prayer and scripture upon your life from Psalms 147, verse 3. It says that the Lord heals your brokenheartedness, and God bind up your wounds. That's our prayer. We know you're brokenhearted, but God will heal you. And Isaiah 41 verse 10 says, fear not. So this time, don't be afraid. We pray that fear will go from you. He says, I am with you. I will strengthen you. We pray that strength and that knowledge and revelation, knowing that God is with you. He says, I will help you. I will uphold you. He will hold you up. Sometimes people just collapse even in this time, but God will hold you up. He will strengthen you. And we pray 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 16 into your life. It says, now the Lord of peace himself give you peace always by all means. So we pray that God will give you peace always. He will strengthen you. He will be with you even in this time. You know, for the believer, we know to be absent in the body is to be present with the Lord. The Bible says that in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 8. So when we leave our body as believers, we are with the Lord. And Jesus said to Martha in John chapter 11, verse 25, he says, I am the resurrection and life. He that believes in me, though he was dead, yet he shall live again. So there's life after death. And we pray that if you want to see your loved ones, hence Colossians chapter 1 verse 27 says, Christ in me, the hope of glory. So Christ is your hope to see your loved ones again. So today you can embrace him as your Lord, as your Savior. And we pray that God will help every one of you. The Bible also tells us, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him will not perish, but have everlasting life. So we pray that God will give you peace, and as you embrace him today, you have everlasting life. You have hope, even in this life. And he continues to strengthen you every day as you go. Hold on to Jesus. Hold on to God. Cry out, pray, and he will strengthen you. So may God bless you. May God keep you. May God be gracious unto you. May God cause his face to shine upon you. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Love you.